evening, Gehenna Gaming, and welcome to We're Still Here, a Dream Askew actual play. I'm Natalie Pudim. I'm a professional game master with Charm Person Games and a queer trans woman. I'll be your host and facilitator for this series. We are playing Dream Askew, a game by Avery Alder. We'll tell you more about the game in a moment, but first I want to let our amazing cast introduce themselves. Brian, who are you?
Hi, I'm Brian Liberge. I am an MC and game designer. I am queer and genderqueer, he and she pronouns. You probably know me from Monday Night Monster Hearts, which will be back in a few weeks, but here I am now playing Dream Askew.
McKenzie, who are you?
That's a great question. Hi, my name is McKenzie Wilkes. I am an actor and podcaster and streamer more often now. My pronouns are she, her. I am just a real chill lesbian, and I'm really excited to be playing Dream Askew.
And welcome to Gehenna Gaming.
Thank you. This is my first time playing with you all, and I'm very excited.
All right. Joe, who are you?
Hello everyone, my name is Joe Pitts, better known as Nolafanger on Twitter. I am not a professional, but I am a storyteller for Vampire the Masquerade V5 Chronicle. I am getting the stuff ready to stream it live, so stay tuned for that. Pronouns are he, him. I am a gay guy. Yeah, we'll go with that. Gay guy, and I like anime, vampires, cool stuff, and I'm so glad to be here playing Dream Askew.
And Kristina, welcome to Gehenna Gaming as well. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Kristina Sisto Kendall. I am a content creator, game designer, writer, musician person. I create stuff, and I'm a genderqueer bisexual from the Pacific Northwest, and I'm really excited to be here. Thanks, Gehenna Gaming.
Great. I am so excited about this cast we've put together. You've probably seen me gushing about them on Twitter this week. But let's talk a little bit about the game Dream Askew by Avery Alder. Dream Askew gives us ruined buildings and wet tarps, nervous faces in the campfire glow, strange new psychic powers, fierce queer love, and turbulent skies above a fledgling community asking, what do you do next? Imagine that the collapse of civilization didn't happen everywhere at the same time. Instead, it's happening in waves. Every day, more people fall out of the society intact. We queers were always living in the margins of that society, finding solidarity, love, and meaning in the strangest of places. Apocalypse didn't come for us first, but it did come for us. Gangs roam the apocalyptic wasteland, and scarcity is becoming the norm. The world is getting scarier, and just beyond our everyday perception, howling and hungry, there exists a psychic maelstrom. We banded together to form a queer enclave, a place to live, sleep, and hopefully heal. More than ever before, each of us is responsible for the survival and fate of our community. What lies in the rubble? For this close-knit group of queers, could it be utopia? So Dream Askew is going to look a little bit different than a lot of role-playing games you might have seen here before on Gehenna Gaming. First of all, there are no dice. Each character is given a number of weak, regular, and strong moves. Doing a weak move gives you a token, but puts your character in a bad situation. Doing a strong move can usually solve a problem, but you can't do it without spending a token. In addition, each character has a special way of interacting with them that will put you in a closer contact called a lure. Performing a character's lure will also net you a token. All of the characters start with 0 tokens. This game also has no Gamemaster. I'll be facilitating and kind of making sure the game follows the rules, but I'll also be playing a character tonight. But the other players not in the scene will take turns playing various setting elements. And those setting elements have moves too. So in addition to playing our characters, you'll also see we'll be playing the various scarcities, the psychic maelstrom, the society intact, the digital realm, the outlying gangs, and the Earth itself. Because this game has no game master, it also means none of us have been able to prep in advance. The story you're going to see tonight is going to be fully improvised. It might be messy. We may stop and start the narrative to take time to figure out where the story is going to go and what scene we want to have next. But the cool part of that is you'll get to see the full creative process as we come up with this story together. One last thing before we introduce our characters. This game deals with some stuff that feels pretty real right now. All of us have discussed safety tools in advance, but we are asking the audience to please take care of yourself. You're not a bad fan because you need to step away because the show is too much, or if you need to leave because the show is not for you. We still love you, and we're glad you tuned in. So I will be playing the character of Hope. Do you want to bring us to the Hope slide?
Oh, yeah! That's my job.
That is your job. Brian is running our OBS tonight.
I got really into listening to your words. I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I try to be a good talker. I'm not good at the talking thing.
I got hope.
Okay, so I am playing the Torch. The Torch is sort of the spiritual leader for the community. From the list of names, I chose Hope. For my look, I chose fiery eyes, but a gentle face. For my gender, I chose warrior. For 2 wardrobe styles, I chose striking colors and witch chic. For the 2 rituals my character leads, I chose glitter bombing and bacchanal. And I had to choose what looming threat I truly alone understand. And I chose hope and mischief are fires we must keep ever burning, or we will face eternal darkness. I also got to choose 2 key relationships that tie me to the community. And I chose the lovers I must please and a bitter ex. So I'm really excited to play out Hope and kind of figure out who she is live on stream with you all. But let's hear about Brian's character.
I'm the tiger. That's right. My name is Boston. I have a masked face and a busted arm. I am the gender hard femme. My clothing styles are leather and flashy acquisitions. I have got the gang resources, riot gear, and megaphones and banners. However, I do have the condition with our community that since that unsettling murder, I have lost some trust. I've got 2 big relationships that are key to me. One is with my son, and the other is with that Wastelander biker pack that I have an uneasy truce with. I stuck my lure on the bottom of my sheet, but the rest of us didn't do that. Just ignore that last line for now. Let's move on.
That's okay. So, McKenzie, who are you playing tonight?
I am playing a Stitcher, sort of a fix-em-up. Could have been a doctor, but I'm not a doctor. Resourceful individual. She knows herself as Jane Doe. She has modified eyes, clean hands. Her gender is Cyberdyke, which I'm obsessed with. Her 2 styles are overalls and visible tech. Her 2 skills are workshop skills are vehicle repair and firearms. The way she gets most of her things she builds with are the fact that people bring her the weirdest shit. And my 2 relationships are a black marketeer whom I owe a small fortune to, and my terminally ill lover.
Nice.
Joe, do you want to tell us about your character?
Sure. I am playing Marvin Horatio. He is a hawker salesman. Just gonna go with that. I chose the look for him to have an honest face and tattooed hands. So imagine there's a rose on this hand and a fist on this one. My gender is Dagger Daddy. Yeah, get into it. My wardrobe styles are leather vintage and formal. Excuse me, leather and vintage formal. I provide 3 things. I provide luxury food, smut, and surveillance. My desired currencies are the cash up front and something weird. My 2 key relationships are society types and pissy killjoys who live next door.
Okay, great. I am so excited for Marvin Horatio. Kristina, can you tell us about your character?
Sure. I will be playing our Iris character. Their name is Joscan. They have an angular frame and calculating eyes. Their gender is void. The wardrobe that they wear is formal attire and bondage gear. Their psychic gifts are memory harvesting as well as fortune telling. The psychic maelstrom spoke to them and said, "Love is the only salvation." And their relationships they have are with a mercenary who makes use of my talents and the weird eater I created.
Cool.
Okay. So those are the characters we're going to play. You may have noticed each of our characters, some of the things are not clearly defined. That's a lot of those things we're going to maybe find out what they mean during play, which is going to be very cool. Now there's one last thing each of our characters have on our character sheet, which is a question we each ask to the person on our left. And we're going to do that based on who is on our left on the stream. So I will go ahead and start. Brian, why did Hope and Boston break up?
Oh, I don't like this order anymore. Let's see. Why did Hope and Boston break up? Because you know of the looming threat, and while I believe in it, I also believe that I insisted my gang could take care of it, that we didn't have to do anything else.
Okay.
Cool. So I have my first question then, right? Is that correct? I go next?
Yeah. And you ask it to McKenzie.
Excellent. Well then, McKenzie. Ooh. What has Jane recently contributed to the cause?
To the cause? What is the what cause? Like
It
specifically?
doesn't say.
Boston's? Oh. I mean, honestly, the first thing that comes to my mind is she has 2 prototypes of like a new type of gun that she made.
Ooh.
That she gave to you for the cause.
I like that. Thanks.
And now me.
So,
I have to
yes,
ask
and
Joe.
you're going to ask Marvin. Yes, Marvin. Joe, Marvin Horatio.
Marvin,
Mhm.
what broken thing do you have that I could fix for you?
Possibly my heart.
This is just a she's all that dating simulator, and I'm like, Marvin, let me take your glasses off and pull your hair down. We're gonna find you love.
I appreciate that. This has been a disaster.
Your heart.
Joe, you get to have Marvin ask a question of Joskin.
Jocelyn, why have I been sizing you up recently?
Perhaps you want to make use of my services.
Perhaps. We shall see.
And Kristina.
This one's for Hope.
Yes.
For Hope. What secret did I learn about you yesterday?
Ooh. I think you saw Hope crying. I think she always puts on like a happy face and like go party. Everything is great. Everything is awesome. Everyone party. And you like walked in and saw Hope crying.
Okay.
Cool.
So those are our characters. In addition to making our characters, we also chose from a list to make some decisions for our enclave. We chose, for 5 visuals, we chose a bustling market, high-rises, individual homes, raging parties, a community garden. And we also had to choose 3 things that are in conflict in our society. And we chose hedonism, goddess cults, and the use of violence. So that is the full setup. So where do we want to start our story? Does anyone have an idea of what they'd like to be the first scene? Or
I mean,
do you
I
want
feel
to...
like we're known for our raging parties.
Absolutely.
I support the raging parties.
Okay, so we're starting a raging party.
Yes.
We had talked a little bit beforehand about the idea that our whole enclave is kind of in a high rise. That we all live in this high rise and like different floor, like we all have our own little apartments, and then there's like a whole floor that the walls have been torn down on, and there's just a constantly going party. What floor do we think it is in the building?
13.
13?
Right?
Yeah.
Is that that's the floor that you're supposed to skip, right?
Yeah.
Unlucky 13, yeah.
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 Nice.
And I think we've got like a killer sound system. And I've like been like scrounging records from like demolished record stores. And like we have like lights flashing, and like some of the walls have been taken out, so it just like opens to sky. Like
nice. I like it. So this is the scene where we get the slow down version of a already known pop song, right? It's the weird cover. Okay.
Yeah. So where is everyone in the party? I think Hope is definitely DJing tonight.
Nice.
Is this a first time DJing for you, Hope?
Oh, no, Hope DJs pretty often. I think like she is the one who like organizes all the parties on the 13th floor, and like some nights it's like a rock show, and some nights it's like kind of like a chill vibe party, but like tonight it's just like a full-on like rave. And Hope is DJing.
I feel like Jane wasn't initially gonna come to the party, but one of the speakers blew, and so she's sort of arriving in a very like handyman look with like a belt over her shoulder and like a bucket of just stuff that she's gonna use to fix one of the speakers for you. And so she's sort of making her way, weaving through people, not being shy about just pushing them to the side and hitting them with things, cigarette dangling from her mouth, and just sort of making her way over to a speaker to fix. So she ends up at this party for a while.
I think then the sound sounds awful because one of the speakers is busted.
It's like
so it's
tinny
just
and
the
canned.
worst. Are Marvin, Horatio, or Boston? Or is Marvin, Boston, or Jocelyn at the party?
Oh, most definitely. I'm trying to get some, more new clientele, so I'm passing out little samples of things,
Yeah.
little luxury food nuggets
Oh.
and
Ooh.
some smut attached to them,
I love the idea of like a little bit of like canned caviar, like on top of like a page ripped out of a porn magazine.
Yes. Yes.
Nice. Love
If I'm
it.
not eating my fish eggs on a 1972 Playboy, I won't eat it at all.
What's the point?
Bush and eggs. Bush and eggs.
That's my biography. Me, Mackenzie Wilkes.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. I think Boston is near the elevators, watching people who, getting off to come to the party. They had heard about the busted speaker, and they just they want to be on the lookout for any kind of minor rioting that might happen. When people start partying and they can't get their party, sometimes things go bad. So she's got some of her gang members walking around. They've got their, they've got their signs that just say, they just say queer is community. Just and they're sort of dancing with their signs, just reminding people they're around and that they shouldn't start shit. But she's I'm going to use all kinds of pronouns, I think, for Boston.
Yeah.
She's, still sort of just kind of leaning against the wall near the elevators, holding their new gun, their new precious thing, and just keeping account of who's going in.
Juscan is kind of along the back wall, maybe just in the shadows a little bit, where the light doesn't hit, except every now and then you're just going to see it flash across their eyes. And they're watching a pair of people that they've hooked up, meeting for the first time. They're just kind of observing their clients meeting and seeing if their intuition was correct, that yes, this will be true love. And it looks like their clients are dancing happily and getting closer, and they just kind of yeah, I made the right call on this one. Might start to leave, but also might kind of swoop around the dance floor looking for other people that look lonely.
I think Hope sees Jane come in and immediately is like, yeah, we're gonna get a fix, and starts announcing that over the microphone. It's like, everyone give it up for Jane, here to fix the speaker. Buy Jane a shot.
Jane is very shy-ish, sort of. She's less shy, more grumpy, and so she's sort of piecing and sort of trying to keep her head low as she pushes through people. A little embarrassed, but isn't mad about it.
And I think people are now trying to shove shots and caviar on porn into your hands.
I'll take one shot and then one thing of caviar and porn.
Okay.
For sure.
And don't forget to find me at the spot. You can get more of that.
Hell yeah.
Marvin's going to make his way to Boston.
Oh. Okay.
And look at that impact rifle. So where'd you get that?
Be like, well, you didn't sell it to me, so you can take a good guess, I would wager.
Are they better than me?
You can find things that nobody else can find.
True.
But Jane can take a piece of trash and turn it into something worth worshipping. And I'm gonna lick the rifle. Just lick the rifle.
That's unfortunate. I was going to give you more caviar.
She says, well, if you can finally find a replacement for my arm, I'd have a free hand to take some caviar. How long have I had that on my wish list?
Maybe you should have pressed a little harder. I could have found it lickety-split for you.
If you don't think the safety of the Enclave is a priority, I can't impress upon that to you. Luckily, others, and I'll raise the rifle one more time, have made that their priority in your stead.
That can be changed. The safety of this area is always important to me. Never said it wasn't. I'm just kind of unsure of why do you have this impressive thing here and not come to me and ask for it. I could have put, nice doilies on it or make it sparkle, something. It's just sitting here menacingly.
It was sitting in my hands. What could be a more beautiful container than my own hand? Don't answer that question. Do not answer that question.
Why don't you want me to answer that question? You know I can think of a million things what it could be better put in.
Wow, that's exactly why I didn't want you to answer the question.
I was like thinking a nice diamond encrusted box that you can insert in and out, whenever you feel like it, put it in, put it out.
She says, I'm not leaving this rifle anywhere but in my hands.
It has a spot for your caviar.
And she starts
And
kind of like
smut.
looking for the spot on the rifle for the caviar.
I can make that. It's not hard to do.
Oh, you're talking about this theoretical box. I'm sorry.
It's not theoretical. I have it.
You have
Right.
a diamond-encrusted rifle box with a caviar holder.
Yes.
I never should have doubted you. I'm sorry.
No.
She goes, well,
We can do this.
I will stop by the shop tomorrow. I will make that a promise.
I look forward to it. I have
Do you think, just sorry to butt in for game mechanics, do you think
Yes.
you might be promising something you can't possibly deliver right now?
I feel like I am
think
not.
maybe.
I've got my eye on that.
Okay.
But coming to a shop seems like a pretty easily deliverable thing. If it's a
Maybe you got plans already.
I don't think I've earned a token. I don't think so.
Okay.
But I think we pretty much have finished our scene, don't you?
Okay.
Okay.
If you want to start fixing the speaker, I could pick up the digital realm,
Yeah,
Jane.
I kind of like walk up with my box of stuff, and the caviar on the smut is on top of all the things barely bouncing. And I have a shot in my hand and a cigarette in it, sort of holding them both.
Okay.
And I go, "Hey, honey," to you.
Hope looks down at you from her DJ booth, and she kind of hops over it, like she gets it to shuffle, and just kind of hops over the booth, because it turns out DJing is pretty easy when you've got a busted old phone with some songs on it. And she's like, "Hey, you seem uncomfortable. Is there something I can do to get you in the mood for partying?"
No, I'm gonna drink the drink, do my job, and I'm okay.
By the way, I was using one of my regular moves there for the audience. How could I deepen your sense of belonging, and ask how could I deepen your sense of belonging and purpose in this place?
Oh.
So, well, I appreciate you coming to fix the speaker, but I was hoping you'd stay and have a good time.
Maybe for a little bit.
Good.
Let me see how this goes first, though.
Okay. Please. It doesn't sound good. So I'm picking up the digital realm.
Okay.
In a physical game, this would be a card, but the first time you pick it up, you get to choose 2 desires for the digital realm. And I am choosing expanded networks and to reinvent the world in its image. Brian, would you be so kind as to type those in for me?
Oh, yes.
The desire spot. Thank you.
Digital realm desire. Oh, I see. Right over here. Yep.
Right.
Say it one more time for me so I get it right.
I am choosing expanded networks and to reinvent the world in its image. I think Hope kind of gestures at the speaker, and like a big like spark of electricity like shoots out of it.
Be careful, be careful. What happened?
Someone spilled a drink on it?
Oh, God, okay.
I spilled a drink on it.
Why do you have drinks in the DJ booth?
You can't DJ without a drink. Do you know how bad that would be?
No, Hope. That's like rule number 1, like no liquids. I don't understand.
I mean, if I follow the rest of the rules, I can skip rule 1, right?
I guess so.
I'm
Let
gonna
me,
choose as it's a weak move that I botched a ritual exposing myself to risk or ridicule.
Oh.
And take a joke.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look through my box. I'll pull out these sort of like rubber-ish gloves to try to or help. And I had these sort of like goggle things on. I haven't taken them off yet, but I sort of hit a button and this sort of like really high-tech-ish looking like light sort of flares up in both of the lenses.
Nice.
So that I can see a little bit better. And
oh man, I need that for my next rave outfit.
I can build you a less practical one.
Great. So I can do anything you need to help except stopping it. I'm not unplugging it. We're not stopping the music. Is that okay?
Sure. I don't know. I'm gonna... Honestly, let's stir the pot. I'm gonna take a weak move as well. I'm going to tinker with an object, leaving it volatile or broken.
Oh no.
Unbeknownst to me, I will do my best.
Okay.
But I think that something happens with a specific wire that just makes it shoot out into this sort of spark almost immediately. Like after like a minute, like it looks like it's going okay, and the music is a little tin can sounding, and then I'm like, oh, I just got to do this one last thing, and I finally take my cigarette out of my mouth, and I get both hands in there, and something just punctures into this. I have some metallic fingers. There's lots of parts of my body that are covered in metal or have metallic, and my finger punctures out of my glove and shocks right into a box, and it just makes the speaker just explode outward out to the dance floor.
I'm gonna choose that because the digital realm wants to remake the world in its image. Like suddenly all the speakers in the room like stop playing music and start playing like this like beeping like binary undanceable like almost screeching. What do you do next?
Payne leans out and is completely horrified and embarrassed and doesn't know what to do. She leans up, she goes, Can you stop this?
You know what? I have an idea, and I'm gonna spend a token to do a strong move.
Oh.
And I think that Hope does what she said she wasn't going to do, and just pulls the plug on the whole system, and like everything goes dark, and like everyone starts booing. and Hope pulls out a candle and an acoustic guitar and is like, "We're doing an acoustic set tonight, and I'm going to enact a cunning diversion."
Okay.
So Josquin, what are you up to? We haven't heard from Josquin in a while.
I think as the music is playing, starts in a little slower, a little softer, and the lights are all down, I'm just going to kind of move silently across the floor, just avoiding absolutely anyone who tries to talk to me, just straight beelining for Boston.
Okay.
By the elevator. Boston.
Is Marvin still with us, or has Marvin moved on at this point?
Yes, Marvin's going to drop to his knees and beg you, Boston, please. That's a weak move. Yeah.
Okay.
Weak move.
So just so I can picture this properly, as soon as Josquin shows up, you drop to your knees and start begging Boston for something?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, do I?
Yes. I'm begging.
I actually think I'm gonna stop and watch.
Okay.
Kind of very creepily, just non-blinking, watch what is happening.
Sure.
Maybe behind Marvin, so he can't see me.
Okay.
And just kind of drop to his knees and, please, Boston, I'm begging for mercy here. You have to come see me anytime you need something. Please. I beg you.
Boston will put her new rifle against the wall behind her and take their leather gloved hand and reach down to you and sort of just gently caress your face. And then with their finger under your chin, try to guide you back up to your feet. Do you stand?
Slowly.
Okay, that's cool. And while you're standing, I say, I didn't ask for this gift. It was freely given to me. But why do you so desperately need me to come to you?
Because I don't know, maybe I like you. I don't know. I feel that I might like you a lot more than I'm actually letting on. I need this. I'm begging you, please. Please.
And so Boston will take a step forward and put her masked face right next to your own and just say, okay. Just okay. Nothing sexy. Be like, I told you I'll see you tomorrow.
What if I can't wait till tomorrow? If I wait till tomorrow, I'll probably surely die. And this. Even the music stopped playing. This.
And that sort of like triggers her like extra paranoia. And it's just like, the music did stop playing, didn't it? And
Yes.
we'll reach for their gun again and start walking away from you.
And I guess I'm going to turn around and probably see Josquin behind me.
So, yeah, and Boston's going to head into the party. When that may involve crossing Josquin, what do you think? Is that, where do you think you're in my line of walking or not?
I was definitely walking over to speak to you. Josquin will like eye contact, connect with people that they're like getting ready to speak to.
Okay.
They don't talk often. When they do, it's creepy. So they're just kind of standing there staring at you unblinkingly through this entire exchange, just watching. I think there's no way that you wouldn't know that they were like
Good.
watching.
So
you.
instead of walking straight to the party, I'll sort of step around my other companion so that there's no one in between us. And I'll look at you and I'll say, does it have to be now?
The scene I just witnessed. Do you love him?
I sort of look back behind me.
Look, he is so lovely.
I care for many members of the Enclave, but I love so few.
I pity you, indeed. I come asking for this. The name. You know those bikers from the wasteland. There is one. She intrigues me. I do not like her. She has long red hair and a scar across her nose. Do you know of whom I speak?
I do.
The next time you see her, the next time I see her, I would see her dead. What do you think about that?
That is a tender relationship. Killing one of those gangs could jeopardize our supplies. Just because you hate them, I would need more than that. You know this.
You know that the powers that touch my mind are not explainable often. Do you not?
I do.
Do you question the powers?
I do not question them. If it
Fine.
is worth risking the our livelihood, then it will be done.
Good. And then I will just kind of turn. Is Marvin still on the floor?
No, I'm stood up.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of reach the hand out to your shoulder and just press to get you back on the floor. And
Push
then
him back
leave.
down!
Yeah.
He slowly goes down.
And I think based on Boston's previous... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was like, no, go ahead.
I think based on Boston's previous relationship with Iris, Boston knows that our conversation is over and heads out into the party to try to figure out what the hell's going on. Cool.
Marvin's going to look at you, Josquin says, and ask, what have I done to earn your ire?
I'll turn back. No ire here. You just looked so lovely. And then I'll just leave.
My brother speaks again. Okay. Whew. All right. I'm going to head to the dance floor. Still pass out smut.
I think the dance floor right now is Hope sitting on the edge of the stage with her guitar and like her closest like party followers. I think she's like groupies, like that's what her followers are.
Okay.
Are kind of like up close with like they've like scrounged up candles and are like sitting like rocking back and forth. As Hope is doing her acoustic set.
This is perfect for smut. Great.
Uh-huh.
Great.
Nothing says smut and caviar like acoustic set.
Right? I'm headed over there.
Okay. I think Hope sees you. It's like she's still playing her guitar. It's like, how's it going, Marvin?
A lot of horny people here.
Oh,
Fun.
absolutely. Are we all horny tonight?
Yeah!
Yes.
Woo!
Okay. Anybody? Caviar, little cordon bleu. No, I got it all. Got it right here in this sack. I got DVDs. I got VHSs. You name it, I got it. It's here. But I don't have Debbie Does. But yeah.
I think Hope is kind of grinning on stage. And
Is Jane anywhere nearby?
I'm currently inside of an amplifier still. I
God.
think.
Okay.
And we haven't really described exactly like her like full look, but she has a lot of like cybernetic pieces of her body that happened before she ever came to be in this group. That's sort of connected to why her name is Jane Doe, and she usually tries not to rely on those pieces of her body. But after, like, I mean, she feels so embarrassed that she did what she did, and so she's still in there, just trying to rack her brain around how to just at least temporarily fix it. And I'm going to use one of my regular moves, so I'm gonna shoddily fix something, and it sort of takes off her glove that has this sort of that covers her hand that is a mostly robotic hand, and almost in like an Inspector Gadgety type way, the end opens up and does this sort of like fire that she's able to fuse the cords back together, and she sort of does some work and thinks that she maybe has it right, and it goes and attempts to switch the lights back on at this moment, and the music comes back quietly and a little grainy, but at least it comes back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
And then she lights another cigarette and she looks exhausted.
I think from the digital realm, not only is the music back, but I think it's maybe like, do any of your cybernetics like maybe have a speaker somewhere in them? Because I think maybe like the playlist is now playing out of them too.
Yeah, there's a little bit behind the back of her. Like, she has a lot of hair that goes over here and then a shaved side, and the back part of the shaved area is just like a metal panel. And there is a bit back there that she hears with mostly, and it's playing in that part of her head now. And she's like banging at it, it's making this tingy noise, and she's like, God damn it. And she's just like hitting at herself and smoking, and then just like takes the shot, slurps the caviar, and sort of looks out at the scene around her.
And I think like Hope like is like, music's back, everyone, start dancing, and is gonna come like give you like a big hug, McKenzie.
Jane sort of just stiffens and takes it. Is okay with it, like consents to it, but she's not the kind of person that hugs back. But she just sort of nods and maybe does a pat, goes, no problem, honey.
You know, you really should come to our parties more often.
I don't know if it's my kind of scene.
What would make it your scene?
And she sort of smiles and goes, quiet. And then sort of picks up her box and starts sort of making her way back and does a little salute to you and a wink.
No one wants quiet.
She just laughs as she continues to sort of exit the party with her box of metal and things.
Can we continue our thematic meeting and have Boston intercept Jane?
For sure.
Yeah. So Boston came out trying to figure out what had happened and like got distracted assessing like everybody's mood in the crowd. Always worried that something is going to trigger one individual, and it's going to grow from that. And so when you finally start walking away from the booth, Boston comes right up to you and says, Jane, what happened?
It was already broken. I made it worse. I think it's okay for now. Might not hold up for a couple days, though.
And you think it just broke on its own?
Hope put water on it. Or something that is liquid. Probably not water, knowing Hope, but...
Hope did.
That's what I was told, yeah.
You're a valuable asset to this community, Jane.
Thank you, you are too.
Walk right by.
I sort of think about that for a moment. I'm like, it felt loaded, but I feel like we have a lot of loaded conversations. So I just sort of am like, okay, because I think I trust Boston to a different extent than I trust most people here, because I gave them like one of two prototypes of this rifle. So I sort of just nod, and I'm making my way down to attempting to make my way out of the party and back down at my workshop.
Cool.
Because I might go scavenge with an ulterior motive tonight.
If you're leaving, I think Jaskan would maybe follow you. They might have been hanging out in the hall, just kind of silently, just like looking kind of at the wall, and then hearing footsteps would kind of look over and just like silently follow behind.
Sorry, I'm just giggling. I've spent like most of this game just on mute giggling. I don't know. I feel like, I especially have like cybernetics in my head, I probably might sense you, but you're also just so like, you're just there. I don't know. I don't think I would notice you actually. Probably.
All right, I'll just kind of follow and observe until we get away from the noise. I think I would just say, Boston's gun.
I drop my box of clangy metals and scream. And my cigarette falls out of my mouth, and I turn and I go, yes, hello, what about it?
Did I frighten you?
Only a little bit.
Interesting. Why, Boston?
I think she has the strength to carry it. And sometimes I worry people don't.
I see. Strength. Well.
Why, do you want one?
No. What would I do with it? Actually, do you have anything more subtle?
I could make something for you.
It would need to be small. Fit in a sleeve. Be undetectable until it is too late.
Melee, projectile? What are you looking for?
Whatever.
Why do you need it?
I think I'm going to use a weak move. And let Jane know why. Did this be maybe caving to someone else's desires? Or... Okay. I am frightened. I do not feel safe at all times here, with more outsiders coming through. They do not understand.
Is there somebody that's already here that you're thinking of?
One of the Wastelanders. They need my powers. I did not mean to create a monster. They keep coming back. I cannot make them stop. So much in their head is painful. It screams at me. I don't want it anymore. And neither do they.
I'll make it for you.
Thank you.
Can I do anything? Other than that.
I've never killed anyone before. Have you?
Yes.
Perhaps I will ask it of you. But not now.
For me to kill somebody.
Is it hard? I do not know.
Not during. But after, yeah. Sometimes.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I didn't really know him.
If you ever want to not remember, I can take it off your hands.
I like that offer, but it's one of the only things I do remember, so I'm okay.
I see. Thank you, Jane. And I will just leave.
Yeah, Jane picks up her box and I don't know, she's just thinking a lot and then just goes back to her workshop.
Cool.
Hope, my dear. You have been DJing so well. I think you deserve a nice aged Chianti with this caviar.
Is that alcohol?
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely deserve that.
He's gonna pull it out and just boop, and actually take the whole bottle.
I think she takes a big swig out of the bottle and it's it's kind of like flat, less sweet soda. It's not bad.
You get used to it the more you try it. Especially with the caviar, it offsets the sort of flat, sweet soda off a little better with the eggs.
You having fun tonight, Marvin?
No? Ish?
No. I don't like it when someone doesn't have fun at my party. And I think she sets the bottle of Chianti on a speaker and puts both of her hands on your shoulders and says, how could I deepen your sense of belonging and purpose in this place?
Make Boston fall in love with me.
I think she immediately goes stone-faced. And is like, you know what? I don't like fish eggs anyway. And I'm going to take the weak move of ostracizing one of my followers. And take the Chianti and walk away.
Well, again.
And I want to go try and find Boston.
Great, because I was looking for Hope.
Yeah.
So I think it's our directors, that whoever directs this, it's their favorite tactic is from one conversation right into another one.
Yeah.
And Boston sees you leaving with the bottle, approaches you, gun in one good hand, and it's just like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
No, I said, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Making them fall in love with you?
You know that I have no control over who falls in love with me. But I hear that you're sabotaging the speaker system.
I didn't sabotage the speaker system. I just spilt a Jaeger bomb on it.
Why was there a Jaeger bomb on the speaker?
Because I was doing 3 of them, and I only have 2 hands.
Hope, you know that we only have limited supplies. Every time we need stuff, it requires either people going out into the city or dealing with the wastelanders.
This is the most important place in the entire building.
I almost agree with you. That's why the speakers can't get Jaeger bombs on them.
I was doing them with one of the new kids who just got here to make him feel welcome.
Well, then take one of the old kids, have him kneel down, and use him as a table, not the speakers.
That's a really good idea, and I'll do that next time.
Great! Thank you for listening!
Of course, it's what I do.
You do it so well! Boston turns around to walk away.
Have a fun time, Boston.
Oh, I'm having the time of my goddamn life! Good scene.
Okay. I think Boston, we're going from conversation to conversation. I think Hope is gonna storm from that conversation and look for Josquin. I don't know if you've rejoined the party.
I think they probably went back up, sitting just outside the party. Again, watching for people to hook up.
Yeah. I think, like, do you have, like, an office somewhere in the like a place where people come to you for, like, things?
Yes. Yes.
I think that's where, like, Hope is storming off to, and then, like, sees you and is like, oh, easy. And she's just gonna slump in, sitting next to you and offer you the bottle of Chianti.
I'll take some.
Okay.
I liked the part where it was just the guitar. It was not as loud. Pass it back.
They let people talk, and when people talk, they worry. Talking is bad. Anyway.
Who is worried, Hope?
Everyone is worried. Every day is awful and scary, and I just try to make it less scary for everyone. And I get so much shit for it.
Less scary.
Yeah.
Who is giving you shit?
Boston.
Boston.
Who gave her that stupid gun anyway? Looks ridiculous.
You do not know.
No.
It was Jane. Who else?
No, that makes
Well,
sense.
Marvin, maybe.
Yeah, especially since Marvin is apparently in love with her.
Is he? Oh, yes. He is. Love
Look,
is beautiful.
I need you to set me up with someone new. All your matches so far have been drags, but I know you got someone good. Like, just... You remember Tinder in the before times? I just want to swipe right on... Like, give me someone.
There is the new one. The one who came, the one you did the drinking with. I do not know him.
We still haven't worked the frat boy out of him.
Mm.
He asked for Jaeger bombs.
Mm.
I gave him what he
Well.
asked for, of course, but...
What do you wish for? Just the swipe, or are you deleting the Tinder later?
Look, I just want... I want someone who isn't going to leave me for some dumb, and charge off into something scary. It just... I don't know what I want, okay?
Someone who is here.
Yeah.
Someone who stays here. Not a new person. An old person. Not an old... Not that came out wrong.
I mean, I'll take people of any age, you know? Experience is cool.
I will look.
Hey, can I ask you, a weird question?
All questions are weird questions. Yes.
Do you agree with everyone else that I'm just, a mess wasting our resources? Or, what do you think of me? I'm asking, what do you really think of me? Which is one of my weak moves.
Oh, when we ask the question under weak moves, do we get a token?
You do.
I'm gonna give myself a token then, okay?
What question did you ask?
Oh, I did one. I'm sorry. No, I'm really interrupting the scene.
No, I'm really curious what question it is mechanically. It's okay.
Whose motives should I second guess right now when I asked Jane about the speakers?
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Did I get a token? Because I begged for mercy from boss.
I gave you the token for it.
Yes! Okay,
Yep.
sweet.
So yes. So, Justin.
I had one, but then I used it on it on Marvin by making him go back to the floor. But yeah.
What do you really think of me, Josquin?
I think you have power. You are connected to something bigger than yourself. And I think if the community cannot see that, they are short-sighted. I think you are too hard on yourself. And at the same time, I think you are just trying to be young. I think you can let it go. It is all right. Do you want to let it go?
That's all I do is let things go.
But not in a way that means something. It is all right. I do not mean to hurt you.
Look, I don't know if I want to let things go. I'm the one who holds on to everyone's difficulties and lets them have fun. That's what I do. I don't know the answer to that. And that's another one of my weak moves. Admit you don't have the answer to someone's question or problem. Racking up those tokens for later.
Yeah, dang.
And I think Hope is going to get up and say, I need to go make more fake Jaeger. If you mix root beer and vodka, drunk people can't tell the difference.
Okay. I think Jessica will just sit outside and just kind of wait. Do you leave the wine?
I think so.
Yeah. They're just going to drink out of the wine every now and then.
Have we done all the... We haven't done all the character... Have we done all the character pairs yet?
We've done a lot of them, at least.
Yeah.
I think Marvin and Jane have interacted, no.
Okay.
Because Jane bailed to go do something.
Actually, now that I'm looking at the clock, this might be a good time for us to take a 15-minute break.
Ooh.
And we will pick up after with more of We're Still Here, a Dream Askew actual play. Hello and welcome back to Gehenna Gaming Presents We're Still Here, a Dream Askew actual play. Thank you so much for sticking with us through our break. So where do we want to pick up as the party is kind of, I picture the party is kind of dying down a little bit at this point. I think you said you had an idea for Jane, McKenzie.
Yes. Before the party fully ends, she wants to make a trip she frequently makes and usually uses the cover of a party to help just keep people out of her business. And she makes it back down to the workshop after talking and, puts her stuff down and kind of takes a moment to herself. And she already has a small, pack that's on the table. And she sort of unzips it, and the camera, the audience, the voyeurs would see is it sort of has she's checking, and there seems to be these pill bottles, and if it's occasional syringe and some medical supplies. It looks like, and she zips closed, and she kind of straps to her side as well as the second prototype for the gun, and she's a motorcycle that she takes out from her workshop, and she goes into the wasteland to a place not too far away, but it's a small house, about 20-minute drive out from our enclave.
Cool. So that means someone should pick up the wasteland? What's it called?
There is the Earth itself, or there is the outlying gangs.
Right. So when someone wanders the wasteland, the outlying gang should come into play.
Yes. Who wants to pick it up? I already have one. I want one of you to pick it up.
It can be me, since I called it out. I don't see anyone either.
Call it out.
All right, so it's mine now.
What two desires are you choosing for the outlying gangs?
Ooh, okay, let's see here. They've got some good ones. I'm gonna say home-cooked meals. And territory.
Okay. I'll add those to the display if you guys want to keep working on your scene.
Yeah, she makes her way to this sort of it's like a neighborhood that no one really inhabits anymore. A lot of shoddy buildings and a lot of just broken down pieces of rubble. But there is one smaller house that's intact she parks outside of. And there's a small light on the inside signifying to her that she knows who she's meeting is there. And she sort of makes her way inside, and she's looking for and if this is okay, a redheaded woman with a scar across her nose.
Oh, I think that's okay.
Someone she knows very well.
Yeah.
And spends a lot of time with in secret, who requires some medical supplies that Jane brings to her.
Now, because I am playing the outlying gangs, does anyone pick up that NPC, or is it me?
It can be you,
Okay.
or you can have one of us pick it up if you'd like. If you have a different idea of what the outlying gangs might be doing and want one of us to pick it up.
And in my brain, I'm trying to make this NPC my terminally ill lover.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Right, but we're not beating around the bush, right? We're also implying that this person is that person, that Iris.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
That's okay. That's
I think that's
Assuming
great.
that is your weird eater, right, Josquin? If I'm picking things up right.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. I was trying to stir the pot and make a connection that maybe our characters didn't know about.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what you should be doing. So,
Okay.
good job.
Should we explain to the audience what a weird eater is? Brian doesn't remember what a weird eater is.
I also am not quite sure.
It's not very defined.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking of it as someone who is addicted to Jaskan's services.
Oh.
Of eating their memories, and like it maybe gives them a high or puts them in a happy place for a while, and that's a lot of pain. Someone who's terminally ill.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, as the outlying gang, I will at the very least describe that this particular motorcycle gang, their aesthetics are very much based off of the idea of 50s style greasers. There's a lot of torn white t-shirts and leather jackets. They paint little symbols on the side of their helmets. Even inside their homes, they have what they call homemakers, who are people who stay behind and keep house, and it's their job to look cute and be ready for them. And their biggest thing is nothing is free, everything is trade. So the homemakers, of course, get what the gang brings in exchange for their services, and the gang never gives away anything to an outsider, but they're always open for trade.
Okay.
Cool.
Do we think your terminally ill lover is one of those homemakers?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I was sorry. The
maybe
way
not.
that Josquin had described her, I took her to be part of the gang, but I don't want to
Okay.
make any.
Yeah,
I don't want
I
to make
assume
any
so as well.
assumptions.
No,
I think the gang works
she can
well.
be part of the gang. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe she's a greaser.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Do we want to give her a name?
Yes, let's, because we haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
Lola.
Lola.
Okay, great. I see approval there. Lola.
I was thinking of the Kinks song.
Yeah, oh yeah. We all went there with you.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, I did anyway. Cool.
Or the Raincoats cover, whichever you prefer. The Raincoats cover does sound more gay. It's all queer though.
This is a very queer situation we've set up, so. Great.
My L-word subplot of the person who wants my possible who knows what relationship dead is. Yeah, I love it. I love the spider web of relationships.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jane walks in. I think they aim to have this to be like a more private meeting, even though this is where the gang like lives in this sort of area. I think that this meeting is usually private.
Sure.
And Jane sort of like walks in, and as she's walking in, just kind of throws like all of her stuff to the ground and grabs Lola into an embrace.
Nice. Yeah. So, Lola was sitting on the couch waiting for you. So as soon as you come in, they're up, and this is like clockwork. In fact, this home is a little dingier because this home doesn't have a homemaker attached to it, so you can meet here in private. And when Lola untangles, says, "Are we already starting on payment? I haven't even received my medication yet."
I missed you.
I missed you too.
How are you feeling?
I've had worse days.
And Jane sort of takes a deep breath in and goes and grabs a bag, and I got more this time, so just hold you over longer. It's getting harder to scrape it off.
If it's getting harder to scrape it off, you shouldn't bring me more.
Where else are you gonna get it from?
I don't know.
If it gets harder, I'll keep doing it. I love you. It's okay.
She'll start walking towards the bedroom. And she'll say, love is just another currency.
Jane sort of nods and follows.
Great. And you can see that in a very ungreaser-like fashion, Lola has prepared the bedroom. It looks very nice. Candles burning, the bed ready. And she sits on the edge of the bed.
Did you dust?
She says, I can dust. It is not a... shut up and kiss me.
I will. And, yeah.
Great.
Jane does, but also is very aware that she can't stay long if she wants to return without invoking too much sort of attention from her sort of absence, I guess. So she goes into this knowing it cannot last long.
I think towards the end, Lola would open a closet and pull out a box that's got broken sporting equipment in it and a few odds and ends. She puts it on the bed. She says, to explain your absence, I don't think they'd be of value to anyone but you anyway.
Thank you. I have a new project to start. This will help. Yeah.
When can I see you next?
Thank you. I don't know. Things feel kind of weird back at the Enclave. I hope soon. That's 2 weeks from now?
I will last, but I will miss you terribly. Do not be surprised if you see me sooner.
Okay.
The gang misses the good food of your marketplace.
They do.
I enjoy eating there as well.
I'm sure you do. Then I hope to see you soon. I love you, you know.
I know.
I'm gonna go, then.
I'll see you soon. Cool.
And Jane sort of picks up all these things and takes the gun, but leaves the bag with all the medical equipment.
Cool. I think just as you're leaving, Lola will stand in the doorway and say, "You should know that I'm not the only one out in the wasteland who started to see strange things. It seems like it's spreading."
Someone else with you, in your group, in your gang?
Not my gang, but we
elsewhere.
hear rumors.
How much? Is it bad?
Not yet.
All right, I'll I know who to ask about it. I know who to tell.
Okay.
And Jane sort of hops on her motorcycle and heads back.
I think as you head out, I've secretly picked up the Earth itself while you guys were playing.
Wow.
There's a crack of thunder, and it starts to pour.
Cool.
I look so cool.
Yeah.
I look like Cyborg or something on a motorcycle with my wet, slicked black hair.
Yeah, in the rain. You're still hearing the music from the party through your...
Alright.
And Jane, she's going, and she has ways she could cover her face, but she doesn't want to because she's sort of feeling weird. And every time she leaves Lola's, she feels like this weird sense of like love, but also self-loathing and an obligation mixed with care. And she's just feeling kind of weird. I don't know. I feel like it's been feeling weird for her lately. But she does love this person, so she's just sort of letting the rain hit her to give her some clarity or something. And that's sort of how she makes her way back.
Cool.
Does anyone else have an idea for a scene that was really good and fun and sad?
Marvin's at the shop. He's left the party. He's at the shop.
Okay.
He's making a whiskey sour for himself and anybody who wants to come in.
Well, I know Boston promised to try to get there that night, since the next day was not good enough.
Right.
Does someone want to grab the... Oh, no, that's different. Never mind.
It might be a good time for someone to pick up varied scarcities
There we
if we're
go.
in the shop.
Yeah, I'll pick that up.
Okay. What to... oh, by the way, when I picked up the Earth itself, I gave it the desires Eden Renewed and Trembling Awe. So what 2 desires do you want to give to the varied scarcities?
Competition and uncomfortable bargains.
Okay.
Ooh, that's fun.
That is fun.
Great. So, Boston, with their gun, let's be honest, wanders into your shop. What's the name of your shop? Remind me.
Hold on. Ooh. Oddities upon oddities.
Nice.
There we go.
Before or like where in the building is your shop?
Probably on the first floor. So you get prime action when they walk in. For the smut. And the drinks. Caviar.
Is it like the old, like, I picture this like used to be like a high-rise apartment building.
Yes.
Is it like the old like leasing office?
Mm-hmm.
Is now your like the
Nice.
front desk and leasing office is now your
Yes.
shop?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I love it. So a Boston will enter, and place the gun on a convenient surface.
Okay.
And I'll say, all right, you wanted me here. You must have something I don't even know I need.
Well, first of all, he's gonna like scoot the drink, have a drink with me.
And she'll look at it and she'll say, do you have anything to smoke instead?
What do you want? I have almost anything here.
Well, I think that just a little something to get me high can make business go so much better.
Do you want a upper high or a mellow high?
Oh, if it's not an upper, it's not really high.
Got just the thing for you. He's gonna feel around under the desk and just pass you a little box. Take as much as you need.
Great. You know, one of Boston's weak moves is to get high at the worst possible moment. Give myself a little token there.
That's
And
very good.
Boston indulges and smiles at you. And
And
just waits, yeah.
And I think I get a lure.
Oh, did I just get addicted to something you sell? Is that your
I
lure?
think you did.
So that is Boston gets another token.
Oh, okay, great.
Mhm.
One more token, hooray! So what is it? Tell me what I must have.
Well, I feel that perhaps we got off the wrong foot with the gun. I mean, I don't know why you would need it, especially when I'm around. You know, he's gonna like flex a little. You know, I'm right here.
I know.
You didn't need that, but you needed the good stuff, so I gave you that.
Well, you're just so busy. I never wanted to assume you had time for my little peacekeeping force.
It's not little by any means. I know you can do whatever you can and want, but I'm here for you. I have what you need.
And beside those personal armaments, what do I need? I'm talking about your guns, honey, just in case you didn't pick up on that.
I did. You said you need an arm.
You have an arm.
I like to use that token that I got and draw out supplies that no one knew you had.
Okay.
Ooh.
And it is a cybernetic arm with grip and everything. And I'm going to display it.
Ooh, and Boston gets close and she reaches out to touch it with her one good hand and she almost stops herself from laying her hands on it.
You can touch it. You have permission.
And then she'll very cautiously stroke its outer edge. What's the price?
Cash up front. What you got?
I can only assume it's a lot of cash up front. And you know me, so much of my funds go back into protecting the community.
True. Or if you don't have money, you can offer me something weirder.
Weirdo, you say?
Yes.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. And
Yes.
she'll walk away for a second and find something to use as a couch. Perhaps a couch.
There's a couch there. It has to.
Excellent. That's what she uses as a couch then.
Okay.
She says, I'm about to become in possession of an interesting biological specimen.
Specimen. Go on.
I mean, perhaps you have a buyer who would be interested in dissecting someone who can seem to harm our local goddess.
Why, of course.
Well then, I think we'll talk again before the week is out.
All right. I'm okay with this agreement.
Shall we fuck on it?
Yes.
She'll get up and they seal the deal?
All right.
Yes.
Yes, excellent.
This game's got me blushing the whole time. Just talked to me in a hallway, I blushed. I'm witnessing this scene and I blushed.
Unbeknownst to both of them, the person listening at the door leaves.
I have an idea for a hope
Gonna
scene too
pass
while this
out.
is happening.
This is good.
I think while this is happening, the camera cuts to Hope kind of wandering the halls with a 2-liter of expired root beer mixed with vodka. She's very drunk at this point, and I think she walks past Boston's place and then kind of stops and takes a step back and like pulls a lockpick out of her bag and opens the door. What does your room look like, Boston?
I
Or
think
your apartment?
Boston's room is very efficient. It's very clean, except for there's a series of posters sort of like all over the apartment, and they're all glamorous people from the old world. It's David Bowie and Tilda Swinton and just a vast majority of people along those lines. But besides that, it looks like it could be an army bunk, just what you need until you get to the closet.
I think Hope has been here before.
Mm-hmm.
She makes a beeline and opens the closet.
Oh no! And of course, you see it's filled. It is absolutely bursting. On the top shelf is various masks. Most of them half masks covering just the top half of the face. Then it's leathers and extravagance.
Okay. I think you see like Hope fumble around in like the coat she's wearing and pulls out a glitter bomb canister and sets it up to trigger when your closet door opens.
Okay, all right. That is a choice you just made.
And Hope leaves and like shuts and like locks the door behind her.
I love it.
Okay.
What's Jocelyn up to? We haven't heard from her. You snuck away from this, from watching this scene creepily earlier.
Oh no, that wasn't Joscan watching Marvin and Boston. That was someone else.
Oh,
that
right,
was-
because you were playing Varied Scarcities.
Yeah, I was playing Varied Scarcities.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So what's Jocelyn been up to in this time?
They're gonna be kind of just watching out their window as a bike speeds out into the wasteland. It's gonna light some candles. Very uncharacteristically, now they're in their own space. Just kind of take off the cloak they were wearing. Just kind of move around the room, kind of clunkily a little bit, just kind of making some noise, smashing into things, just kind of reminding themselves that they're there, and lighting some candles. I'm going to try and sit and meditate and connect with their powers, but I think they're a little tapped for the day. Like it's been a lot. They've seen a lot, they've done a lot. They're kind of more human than other at this moment, so they're not really connected, and it's very frustrating for them.
I'll pick up the psychic maelstrom.
Okay. What 2 desires are you going to give the Psychic Maelstrom?
I think I'm going to give fervent intimacy and human dependence.
Okay.
The psychic maelstrom for this moment. for where it is right now.
Yep.
I'm gonna close my eyes and I'm gonna think about Hope and her question, her question of feeling like a burden. Thinking more about what did she mean by that. Thinking about Hope wanting to find a partner, somebody new to take her mind off what I'm sure was a messy breakup with Boston that everybody knows about. Thinking through the enclave, who's going to be a good fit for Hope? Scrolling.
I think, even though I feel like a move that I think works in an interesting way for this is enter into someone's sensory experience at the right moment. I think you hear what the right person is hearing at the moment. And you can't tell where they are, but you hear footsteps sloshing, maybe mild moaning sounds that sound behind a door. Possibly, maybe they're walking past a certain store at the moment. But you hear that they're here, and then you sort of, if you're able to push more, maybe you can like see what they see, but you're within the sensory experience of the person for Hope.
They're gonna dig deeper. There will be unexpected side effects, and Joscan knows like this is gonna hurt. There's going to be pain, but they're gonna do it to see this person.
I'm trying to think. Does Hope have any preferences?
Hope is like omnisexual, like anyone. Everyone, all the time.
Oh my gosh, I just feel like I'm like the world's my oyster. I could just make anyone that exists.
Oyster it up.
Oyster it up. There is a person. You see that they are walking sort of within the marketplace, and first you just see like out of their eyes as they pass by oddities on oddities and sort of immediately kind of quickly rush away as they hear something happening within there, and they're kind of laughing. It seems like they're having a very fun time, and if you pull out, you see the visage of this person. They're very slender and sort of, I don't even know how to describe. They're just very like interesting looking with like a long face and very short, scruffy, electric green hair. It's kind of spiked in those like weird like Liberty spikes sort of thing, and these like cool bright blue eyes, and we know them as, looking around my room for inspiration, we know them as, oh my gosh, Blondie.
The green-haired person's name is Blondie.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yep.
I just looked and saw my best of Blondie vinyl.
It's just absolutely 100% correct.
And that's who you see.
Blondie. Blondie, why are they here tonight? I'll just kind of come back from the vision, and just begin to blow out the candles reverently. I'll do a low bow, and I think head down to try and meet Blondie, to try and catch them before they leave.
Are you like hurt somehow because of it? You said that.
Yeah, so it says use your psychic gifts with unexpected side effects.
Yeah.
I think you'll see like a slash kind of open up on like their cheek, and it's gonna be like a glow of like a light blue, and one of their eyes is just going to turn blood red. Just the whole thing, sclera. And then they're going to just kind of grab a pair of just thin sunglasses and put them on to cover the sight, and it is incredibly painful.
Do we want to play that scene? Does Blondie make it down? Do you want to play Blondie, McKenzie?
Sure.
Let me plug in my headphones super quick. They're making the beep noise.
Let's go to the beep, beep. That's what headphones sound like, sorry.
Technical difficulties. I will right now say, if you are in the audience, please join us on the Gehenna Gaming Discord. You can find the links down below. If you want to talk to the cast, we have set up our own little queer commune in the Post-Apocalyptic channel. So come in, talk to us, tell us about your favorite moments, tell us what you liked, and we will be happy to talk to you and hear your theories and definitely not take them because we don't have our own ideas.
Great.
Right. Are you good now, Kristina?
Yes, I'm so sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay. I think Justin will try and move fluidly and strangely, but might be a little out of sorts from the pain that's just shooting through them and the whispers they're hearing in their head. Everyone they pass, they can kind of hear little strings of things that people want, or truths and untruths that people are telling, and they can't really distinguish what is happening, like what is true, what is not. It's like a migraine that yells, and they'll just kind of make their way down the elevator to the lobby, pass oddities upon oddities, and just kind of shut the door and go out into the rain. Blondie.
Blondie turns. They're wearing. I feel like they're from. Because I know that
They're from society.
Marvin has like the high society that come to party. I think they're sort of from that. I don't know why my brain with like electric hair, this very like Hunger Gamesian like fashion, this like weird high fashion thing that they've dirtied a bit because they're trying to be like down with the Enclave. And yeah, they're just sort of drinking in the rain, waiting for a car. They turn. Hey. How'd you know my name?
I know many things here. You are not from here. However, you want to be. Is this true?
Maybe. They're kind of drunk, so they're swaying a bit. Why do you ask?
What if I told you I had a way for you to be here?
It's very forward of you.
I do not hide. It is not me. It is a friend of mine. Her name is Hope.
I know Hope.
She is looking.
For me?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Wow. I didn't think that was wow. Right now?
Do not ask her for Jaeger bombs. Ask her for something adult, like wine or something.
Wine. Okay.
Be classy. Do not be crude, but not too classy.
I can try to do that. Why are you doing this?
For God's sake, go ask her to dance.
Okay, I will do that. And they sort of just like they were drinking maybe a little bit of the Jägerbomb mixture, and they sort of just pour it out behind them and toss the bottle and make their way back in to go look for Hope.
Jessica will kind of just stand out in the rain, and maybe for a minute after Blondie leaves, just kind of collapse a little in pain and just kind of hold themselves for a minute, and then try and go back inside.
I think Hope at this point, like after going and glitter bombing setting up a glitter bomb for Boston, has gone back to her place, which is kind of in the back corner of the 13th floor, in an area she's kind of set up as like the VIP room. Like it's like she's pulled like every plush couch she's been able to find out in the wasteland and like pulled them all in here, and that's usually just where she collapses at the end of the night. And she's like, you know, doing her get ready for bed stuff. Like there's still like, I think like the tiniest amount of party going. Like I think the party never actually fully stops on the 13th floor. Like there's always like at least like 2 people drinking and talking. And Hope has found her corner of the VIP room and is kind of curling up on one of the couches.
I have a little cat yelling at me. Distracted. Yeah, I mean, Blondie's gonna go back to the party and attempt to find Hope.
Yeah. Oh, I think maybe you come and Blondie comes into the VIP room and Hope like looks up and is like, "Oh, hi. Welcome. I've seen you around. I think."
I mean, I hope so. You asked for me, right?
I asked.
I have wine.
Oh, come on in.
They go and they make them. We both have cats. Look at all these cats.
Yeah.
The
And
static Maelstrom knew.
The Maelstrom knew we needed cats. Now mine's parroting. Yeah, Blondie goes and sits down next to you with no glasses, just straight up the bottle of wine. I have a needy cat, if you can't tell.
So, what's your name?
People call me Blondie.
People call me Hope.
It's pretty.
Thanks, I chose it myself.
Makes it even better. Wine? It's very classy,
Please.
I've been told.
I think Hope takes like a big swig of it. It's like, hold on, it's. I think she kind of pulls herself like into her torch mode and is like, what do you secretly love, Blondie?
Secretly?
Yep, that's one of my strong moves. Secretly. We all have loves that we're too afraid to give names to.
It's an interesting question. Secretly. This place.
It's magical.
Where I usually spend my time. It's not very good to love a place like this, but I'm addicted to being here. I feel like myself here. I'm Blondie here.
That's what this place was to me when I found it too. give me just a minute. Can you wait here? Like, give me 5 minutes. And I think like
Take
Hope
5 more.
runs out to go grab some stuff, and she comes back. I think she has a small ritual she does to welcome people into the community, to be like, you now are a part of this. And I think in just like the tiniest ways it changes people, like in the psychic maelstrom, to be like, everyone knows who belongs here. It's like, do you want to belong here?
Is there space? Is there room? Is it okay?
She looks around and gestures at the empty couches around here and says, I think we could find a place.
And Blondie sort of like thinks like, this is impulsive, but I'm gonna do it. Screw what my mom says. And they sort of say, yeah. I think they're a little young.
Okay.
So that's why they kind of have this like, screw my parents mentality in their brain,
I think
but also
Hope is pretty young too. She pulls out a small bottle and pours a shot and is like, this is some of the last good liquor we have. Drink it.
downs it.
Okay. And she's like, and this is some of the love we have left. And she gives Blondie like a big kiss.
Unless there's something you really want to do, that's a great moment to end on.
Yeah, actually, I think that might be a good moment to end on. So that is the end of the first episode of We're Still Here, a Dream Askew actual play. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. We have so many great things coming up on Gehenna Gaming this week. Tune in. I think just about every night is something. Gehenna Valley is still doing our small shows. I don't know what you're signing.
It's a heart. We're making hearts.
Okay, yeah. Also, October 9th to 11th, Gehenna Gaming is very involved in SafeCon. SafeCon is a con celebrating using role-playing games in therapy and raising money for the Bodhi group. If you'd like to be involved, join the Gehenna Gaming Discord. Links are below. You'll find everything you need to find about SafeCon. Also, tune in. What show are we doing Monday night for the Gehenna Valley?
Monday is Seasons. It's Stephanie's
Seasons.
game.
You know, I think I know that Gamemaster maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe she's my business partner or something like that. So I probably should have known that was coming.
I might have just said her name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian.
Yes.
Where can people find you?
Well, the best place to find me is on Monday night playing Seasons, as I will be here as one of the players. You can also visit the newly revamped beerstargames.com. That's beer like the beverage you drink, star like the thing in the sky, and games like what we've been doing all night with your hearts. I'm also at Brian Liberge on the Twitter. Please come check me out. We're having good times right now, and I'll be back next week, of course, with all these other great people, like
McKenzie. McKenzie, where can people find you?
Like me, I'm at McKenzie Wilkes on the Twitters as well, and I'm mostly on some podcasts. I do a podcast called Dungeons, Dice, and Everything Nice. It is a very queer angels versus demons fantasy situation. I also do a show called Dungeon Wives, where I play a one-on-one game with the love of my life, my wife Rachel. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. And of course, I'll be here next week.
Great. Joe, where can people find you?
Oh, okay. You can find me on Twitter a lot at Nola Fanger. Think about New Orleans, Louisiana, where it comes from. Fanger from True Blood Fang Banger. Yeah, on Twitter. I have an Instagram. It takes a while to spell it, so hit me in the DMs if you want to talk. I'm pretty open. And yeah.
Kristina, where can people find you?
Hey, you can find me on the Twitter sphere. I'm at D20xtina, and I actually have something coming to DM's Guild on October 12th. I worked with some folks to make some super awesome Halloween fun for you all. So if you want to go into a creepy old house and find some things, open some doors, see what pops out, I highly recommend you do. It's going to be called Heart of the House, and again, coming to DM's Guild October 12th.
Great. And I am Natalie Pudim. You can follow me personally at Natalie_20 on Twitter, or you can follow Charm Person Game on Twitter for Charm Person Games. We've just revamped our website and we're offering a ton of new indie games to book with us. We will run games for your birthday parties, funerals, bat mitzvahs, corporate events, anything you need a game for, we will run one. Also, you can find me every other Wednesday with Kristina over on Off the Table playing Glitter Hearts, our game Return to the Moonlight. We just had our second episode last night. That show is fantastic. You can find me Monday nights here on Gehenna Gaming, playing not Monster Hearts for a few more weeks, but later some Monster Hearts.
I love Monster Hearts.
I think that's the only places I am right now. But please,
That's a
book
decent
with me, play games with me. We will be back next week playing with the next session of We're Still Here. Please join the Discord, interact with us. We love talking to you. Thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely night.